Saturday morning cartoons. Before streaming and on-demand TV, Saturday mornings in the 70s meant one thing: cartoons. Kids would pour themselves a big bowl of sugary cereal, settle in front of the TV, and tune in to animated classics like Scooby-Doo, The Jetsons, and Fat Albert. This wasn't just a routine. It was a beloved ritual that marked the start of the weekend. For a few magical hours, kids escaped into worlds of talking dogs, futuristic families, and larger-than-life characters. Many 70s kids planned their entire Saturday morning around these shows, eagerly waiting all week for that cherished time in front of the screen. Today's kids, with endless choices, may never fully appreciate the excitement and simplicity of a Saturday morning cartoon lineup. Do you remember your favorite shows from those mornings? And speaking of memorable routines, the next memory is all about a scent that filled countless homes, bringing back instant nostalgia. The scent of Avon perfume. In the 70s, Avon wasn't just a brand. It was an experience that brought beauty and fragrance directly to your door. Avon ladies traveled through neighborhoods, delivering lotions, perfumes, and beauty products to homes across America. And who could forget those tiny, uniquely shaped perfume bottles? Whether shaped like animals, cars, or dolls, these bottles weren't just packaging. They were collectibles. Each fragrance added a warm, familiar scent that instantly takes anyone back to that time. Avon's perfumes were more than just scents. They were symbols of home, family, and a simpler era when such small luxuries felt special. For many, the Avon scent remains a reminder of comforting, nostalgic moments. Do you remember the scents that lingered in your home? Schoolhouse Rock, educational magic. Who could forget learning grammar, math, and history through the unforgettable songs of Schoolhouse Rock? With catchy hits like Conjunction Junction and I'm Just a Bill, this beloved animated series turned complex topics into fun, memorable lessons. Saturday mornings in the 70s weren't just for cartoons. These educational segments brought school subjects to life, making topics like the American Constitution, multiplication tables, and even science concepts exciting and accessible. The clever animations combined with witty lyrics made learning feel effortless and enjoyable. Decades later, many 70s kids can still hum those tunes, proving how effectively Schoolhouse Rock blended entertainment with education. Each song became a mini lesson, often sticking in our heads long after the TV was turned off. It wasn't just a show, it was an innovative approach to teaching that left a lasting impact on an entire generation. Did you find yourself singing along to these classic tunes, perhaps even today? And from those memorable sing-alongs, we shift to the ultimate in space-age taste, a drink that made kids feel like astronauts. Tang and space-age snacks. Nothing captured the 70s fascination with space quite like Tang, the powdered orange drink that brought the thrill of space travel right into your kitchen. Marketed as the drink of choice for astronauts, Tang made kids feel like they were part of NASA's missions, sparking dreams of space adventures with each sip. But Tang wasn't the only treat that fed young imaginations. Freeze-dried ice cream and other space-age snacks brought a taste of the cosmos to Earth, making everyday kitchens feel like mission control. Kids eagerly savored these innovative treats, believing they were sampling the same foods astronauts enjoyed aboard spacecraft. These snacks symbolized a spirit of discovery and captured the excitement of space exploration in every bite. For many 70s kids, each sip of Tang or bite of astronaut ice cream was like taking a trip to the stars. Did you dream of floating in space while enjoying these treats? The Atari 2600, home gaming revolution. Released in 1977, the Atari 2600 changed the way kids experience video games by bringing the excitement of the arcade right into their living rooms. Kids who were lucky enough to have one spent countless weekends immersed in games like Pong, Space Invaders, and Asteroids, captivated by the thrill of controlling the action from their own couch. With its simple graphics and clunky joysticks, the Atari 2600 may seem basic by today's standards, but at the time, it was nothing short of groundbreaking. This console became more than just a piece of hardware. It was a symbol of innovation and paved the way for the gaming culture that thrives today. Atari was the ultimate in 70s entertainment, inspiring a generation of future gamers and tech enthusiasts. Speaking of fun, let's roll back to a spot where kids glided, laughed, and even hoped for a slow song with a special someone. Roller skating at the rink. For kids growing up in the 70s, the roller rink was more than just a place to skate. It was a social hub where friendships blossomed and unforgettable memories were made. Decked out in bell-bottoms, glittery shirts, and sometimes even sequins, kids would glide around to the beat of disco classics from ABBA, the Bee Gees, and Donna Summer. The flashing neon lights, thumping music, and lively crowd made every weekend feel like a party. For many, a big moment was working up the courage to ask a crush to skate during a slow song, creating memories that felt like scenes from a movie. Roller skating wasn't just an activity, it was an experience that combined fun, freedom, and a touch of romance. Those loops around the rink made every skater feel like a star. Do you remember your favorite moves on the rink floor? Mood rings and pet rocks. In the 70s, two quirky trends swept the nation. Mood rings and pet rocks. Mood rings, said to change color based on your emotions, added an element of mystique and fun to daily life. Watching the ring shift from blue to green to fiery red made kids feel like they were discovering hidden sides of themselves. Meanwhile, pet rocks, a craze few could have predicted, were literal rocks packaged in small boxes with air holes and pet care manuals. Though simple, they became beloved companions, often given personalities and treated with care. Looking back, these fads may seem silly, but for 70s kids, mood rings and pet rocks were special and sparked imagination. They brought a touch of novelty and magic into everyday routines. Did you have a pet rock or remember checking your mood? And speaking of unique experiences, Wacky Packages stickers. For many kids in the 70s, Wacky Packages stickers were more than just collectibles. They were a hilarious way to poke fun at everyday brands. These trading cards and stickers humorously parodied popular products, turning familiar items into quirky, laugh-out-loud collectibles. Instead of Cap'n Crunch, you'd find Cap'n Crud, or Creepy Crisp, instead of Kleenex, with each sticker offering a unique satirical twist on the brands everyone knew. Kids would eagerly trade these stickers at school, sticking them on notebooks, lockers, and any surface they could find, proudly showing off their sense of humor. In a pre-internet world, Wacky Packages provided a fun way to connect with pop culture through humor, becoming conversation starters and prized items in every collection. The thrill of finding a new one was unforgettable. And speaking of pop culture, let's press play on a music format that defined the era: music on 8-track tapes. Do you remember flipping through your family's 8-track collection to find your favorite tunes? Before CDs or MP3s, 8-track tapes were the coolest way to listen to music. In many 70s, homes, living rooms were stacked with 8 tracks featuring artists like Fleetwood Mac, Led Zeppelin, and the Eagles. Listening on 8-track had its own unique charm. The familiar click as the track changed, the slight pauses in the middle of songs, and the clunky tape players that sometimes needed a little nudge to work. For kids, popping in a new 8-track meant immersing themselves in the latest hits, creating an instant mini-concert at home. Sure, the sound quality wasn't always perfect, but that didn't stop anyone from jamming out to their favorite songs. 8-tracks weren't just a music format, they were a soundtrack to the decade. And from music indoors, let's head outdoors to a summer tradition that brought everyone together. Drive-in theaters, movies under the stars. Drive-in theaters were a summer staple in the 70s, where families and friends piled into the family car, packed with blankets, pillows, and snacks, to enjoy movies under the stars. The excitement started long before the film, as everyone found the perfect spot, set up lawn chairs, or claimed the back seat for the best view. Kids would play in the open space until the screen lit up, and then settle in as the giant outdoor screen flickered to life. Watching a movie at the drive-in wasn't just about the film, it was an experience filled with laughter, whispers, and the cozy feeling of being together under the night sky. Families looked forward to these warm summer nights, where the atmosphere was as much a part of the magic as the movie itself. What's your fondest memory of a night at the drive-in? Holly Hobbie, nostalgia in a bonnet. For girls in the 70s, Holly Hobbie was more than just a character. She embodied a sense of innocence and simple country charm that resonated deeply. With her signature patchwork dress, big floppy bonnet, and sweet timeless style, Holly Hobbie quickly became a beloved figure, adorning everything from dolls and lunchboxes to notebooks and wallpaper. Her image captured an idealized version of American life that was comforting and nostalgic, reminding many of close-knit communities, family values, and simpler times. Holly Hobbie wasn't just a decoration, she was a symbol of warmth and familiarity that brought smiles to those who loved her. For girls who owned a Holly Hobbie doll or decorated their rooms with her image, she was a comforting friend who added charm to everyday life. Did you or someone you know have a treasured Holly Hobbie item? Now let's shift to a toy that provided endless entertainment. The Slinky, a simple joy. Although the Slinky was invented in the 1940s, it truly became a cultural icon in the 70s, capturing the hearts and imaginations of kids everywhere. This simple metal coil was pure magic, a toy that could walk down stairs, flip off tables, and move with a mesmerizing rhythmic grace that felt almost alive. There was something magical about watching it tumble step by step, defying gravity in its own way. Tangling was always a risk, and one wrong move could leave your Slinky hopelessly twisted. But even those frustrating moments couldn't take away from the joy it brought. Slinkies were a staple in toy collections, a reminder of how much fun could come from a simple screen-free invention. It required nothing but a staircase or a little imagination to provide endless entertainment. What's your favorite memory of playing with a Slinky? TV dinners in aluminum trays. Do you remember the excitement of peeling back the foil on a hot TV dinner? In the 70s, convenience was king, and nothing epitomized it more than TV dinners in their classic aluminum trays. These compartmentalized meals, with favorites like fried chicken, Salisbury steak, mashed potatoes, and even a small dessert, offered a quick and satisfying dining experience. Families would gather around the television with their trays, turning dinner time into a cozy ritual that brought food and entertainment together. Each section of the tray held something different, ensuring a little variety in every meal. The foil kept everything hot, and pulling it back felt like unveiling a mini feast. For many, these meals were a treat, especially on nights with a special TV show or family movie. The nostalgia of those TV dinners brings back memories of simpler times. Bottle cap candies. Bottle cap candies were a 70s treat that blended candy sweetness with a fizzy, soda-inspired twist, creating a fun, tingling sensation on the tongue. These small, colorful discs came in flavors like cola, grape, orange, and root beer, each offering a burst of flavor that made them a playground favorite. Kids would trade bottle caps, collecting their favorite flavors and often saving the best ones for last. With their bright colors and tangy, slightly fizzy taste, bottle caps stood out among other candies of the time. They were the kind of treat you'd bring to recess or share with friends during a summer afternoon, and each bite felt like a mini celebration. Just a handful of bottle caps could bring back memories of carefree days, laughter, and the simple joys of being a kid in the 70s. These iconic candies remain a nostalgic treat for those who remember their unique, soda-like flavors. Speaking of fun foods, let's dive into another pet that kids could bring to life. Sea monkeys. Sea monkeys captivated kids in the 70s with the promise of creating a miniature living civilization right in their own homes. Marketed in whimsical packaging with colorful cartoon illustrations, these instant pets were actually brine shrimp that would hatch and grow in water. Despite their simple nature, watching sea monkeys emerge and begin to swim felt like pure magic, a blend of science experiment and fantasy come to life. Kids would observe as tiny creatures appeared from seemingly nothing, swimming around in a small plastic tank. Some kits even came with miniature castles or kingdoms to make the tank feel like a fairy tale world. While the real sea monkeys didn't exactly match their illustrated counterparts, they still provided hours of fascination and wonder. Many kids felt a sense of responsibility and pride in caring for these unusual pets, as if they had their own tiny underwater world to look after. The Viewmaster. Do you remember the thrill of clicking through a Viewmaster reel and watching new worlds come to life? This classic 3D viewer was a magical window into countless places and stories, offering kids a unique glimpse into everything from natural wonders to their favorite TV shows. Each circular reel held a series of scenes, and with every click, you were transported deeper into adventure. The reels featured beloved cartoon characters, famous landmarks, and breathtaking nature scenes, each one more vibrant than the last. Holding the Viewmaster up to the light brought every detail to life, making you feel like part of the action. It was a special way to explore the world and learn about new places without leaving the house. For many, the Viewmaster was more than just a toy. It was a ticket to imagination, discovery, and fun that never seemed to end. Shrinky Dinks. These plastic sheets started as blank canvases that kids would color in with their favorite designs. After just a few minutes in the heat, each sheet would twist, curl, and then flatten out into a tiny, hardened charm, turning art projects into wearable, collectible trinkets. The thrill of watching them shrink was unforgettable, and once cooled, Shrinky Dinks could be used as jewelry, keychains, or little keepsakes. Kids loved making them in every shape and style, from animals and flowers to personalized names, adding a unique touch to each creation. Even the distinct smell of baking Shrinky Dinks became part of the experience, as memorable as the charms themselves. With every project, kids felt a sense of pride in creating something special and entirely their own, bringing art to life with just a bit of color and heat. And from creative crafts to cruising in style, here's a bike that had everyone pedaling. Banana seat bikes. Banana seat bikes were the ultimate ride for kids in the 70s, offering a perfect mix of comfort, style, and freedom. With their long, padded seats, these bikes allowed for smooth, comfortable rides and even had room for a friend to hop on the back. High-rise handlebars and colorful streamers added flair, making each bike as unique as its rider. For many kids, a banana seat bike was more than just transportation. It was a symbol of independence and adventure. Cruising down the neighborhood streets with friends, feeling the breeze, and racing around corners gave kids a sense of freedom and ownership over their little world. These bikes became a staple of childhood memories, as kids would pedal for hours, exploring, racing, and imagining grand adventures. They were more than just bikes. They represented the joy of being young and carefree. Do you remember gliding around on a banana seat bike with friends? The Magic 8 Ball. The Magic 8 Ball was the ultimate fortune teller for curious 70s kids, offering mysterious answers to their most pressing questions. By giving it a good shake and watching as a tiny floating answer appeared in the window, kids could ask about anything from school crushes to big decisions, adding an element of suspense and excitement to each consultation, with responses like, "Outlook not so good," "Yes, definitely," and "Ask again later." The 8 Ball was both playful and mysterious, making every answer feel like a glimpse into the future. Kids would bring their Magic 8 Balls to school, asking questions during lunch breaks and sharing laughs over the sometimes cryptic replies. It became a fun ritual among friends, with every flip sparking new conversations and predictions. For a few moments, the 8 Ball seemed to hold all the answers. Did you ever turn to the Magic 8 Ball for advice? Next, let's cook up some fun with an oven that made kids feel like bakers. Easy Bake Oven. The Easy Bake Oven was every 70s kid's dream kitchen appliance, a magical mini oven that turned simple ingredients into delicious treats with just the heat of a light bulb. With each packet of mix, kids could bake tiny cakes, cookies, and even brownies, bringing a sense of accomplishment as they pulled out each freshly baked, bite-sized treat. The Easy Bake Oven wasn't just about baking, it was about feeling like a real chef. Friends would gather for baking parties, each decorating their creations with colorful sprinkles and frosting, proud of their culinary achievements. Beyond just fun, it was an early introduction to cooking basics, helping kids feel independent and grown up. The aroma of those tiny desserts baking filled the room with excitement and satisfaction. For many, the Easy Bake Oven was a beloved part of childhood. Did you or a friend have an Easy Bake Oven and make sweet treats together? Stretch Armstrong. Do you remember testing the limits of Stretch Armstrong's super strength? This iconic 70s action figure was designed to handle anything a kid could throw at him. Literally, with his rubbery, flexible limbs, Stretch Armstrong could be pulled, twisted, and stretched up to 4 times his original size, making him the ultimate test of strength for little hands. Kids would compete to see how far they could stretch him without snapping, fascinated by his seemingly indestructible nature. Whether playing alone or with friends, Stretch Armstrong was a source of endless fun and amazement, bouncing back to shape after every test. His stretchy, durable body made him more than just a toy. He was a novelty that sparked curiosity and creativity in kids. Stretch Armstrong took on every challenge, making him one of the most memorable toys of the era. And from action figures to snack time, here's a chip that delivered right to your door. Charlie's Chips. Tin Charlie's chips brought the excitement of snack delivery to homes in the 70s, with their delicious, crispy potato chips packaged in large, reusable tins. These signature tins, often delivered right to your door, made snacking feel like a special event. Opening a fresh tin of Charlie's chips was a family treat, especially for movie nights or weekend gatherings. The tins kept the chips perfectly crisp and flavorful, adding a touch of luxury to the snacking experience. And once the chips were gone, the iconic tins found new life as storage containers for everything from toys to sewing supplies. For many families, Charlie's chips were more than just a snack. They were a small tradition, a fun delivery that everyone looked forward to. Seeing that tin arrive at the door always sparked excitement and anticipation. It was a simple pleasure that added a bit of charm to family time. Soap on a rope. Soap on a rope was both a practical and playful novelty that added a unique touch to 70s bath time. Often given as a fun gift, this bar of soap came with a rope threaded through it, making it easy to hang in the shower or on a hook by the sink. Many kids received soap on a rope as presents, especially during the holidays, with designs shaped like sports balls, animals, or even popular cartoon characters. The practical design kept the soap from slipping and made it last longer, while the playful shapes added a touch of personality to an otherwise routine bath. Soap on a rope was a small yet memorable item that made bath time feel a bit more special and fun for kids, turning a daily chore into something to look forward to. Its quirky charm made it an unforgettable part of childhood. From the bathroom to the playground, here's a toy that was as noisy as it was thrilling. Clackers. Do you remember the loud, satisfying sound of clackers hitting in perfect rhythm? This thrilling toy, popular in the 70s, had two hard acrylic balls attached to either end of a string, designed to be swung up and down to create that unmistakable clack as they struck each other. The goal was to keep them clacking in a steady beat, which required skill, coordination, and timing to master. Clackers may have seemed simple, but they took hours of practice and patience, with plenty of bruised knuckles along the way. Kids loved challenging themselves to see how fast they could go without losing the rhythm. The clacking sound was a staple of playgrounds and backyards, filling the air with excitement and a bit of competition. Despite the occasional mishap, clackers were endlessly fun and added a unique, noisy thrill to 70s playtime. The Fisher-Price Chatter Telephone. Do you remember the charm of the Fisher-Price Chatter telephone, with its smiling face and ringing dial? This iconic pull-along toy was a staple for toddlers in the 70s, with a cheerful expression, moving eyes, and a rotary dial that made kids feel like they had their very own grown-up phone. As they pulled it around, the phone made a playful chatter sound, adding life to every room it rolled into. The chatter telephone encouraged pretend play and imagination, allowing kids to have conversations with imaginary friends, family, or even their favorite characters. It quickly became more than just a toy. It was a little companion that brought joy to daily play. For many, the familiar sound of its chattering wheels and ringing dial is a nostalgic reminder of simpler times, filled with innocent fun and endless imagination. Let's move on to a stretchy, bouncy classic that captured imaginations. Silly Putty. Do you remember the endless fun of playing with Silly Putty? This stretchy, bouncy toy was a 70s favorite, offering kids a versatile way to play that seemed almost magical. Silly Putty could be molded into countless shapes, stretched into thin strings, or rolled into a ball that would bounce across the room. But one of its most exciting features was its ability to copy images from newspaper comics. Pressing Silly Putty onto the ink and peeling it back to reveal a perfect, stretchy image transfer felt like a special trick every time. Kids would spend hours experimenting with it, bending and shaping it into faces, animals, or simply stretching it as far as it could go. Silly Putty's simple charm and endless flexibility made it a staple of 70s playtime, sparking creativity and imagination in countless ways. Lite-Brite. This classic toy allowed kids to bring their creative ideas to life with colorful, glowing pegs arranged on a black grid. By pressing the tiny, translucent pegs into the board, kids could form pictures that came to life in the dark, casting a warm, enchanting glow that filled the room. Lite-Brite offered endless possibilities. Kids could spend hours arranging pegs to create animals, letters, or favorite cartoon characters, making each design a unique masterpiece. The satisfying click of each peg and the soothing glow of completed designs made Lite-Brite both a relaxing and imaginative activity. For many, it was more than just a toy. It was a creative escape that turned simple ideas into shining works of art. Jiffy Pop. Popcorn. Before microwave popcorn took over, Jiffy Pop was the go-to snack that turned popping corn into an unforgettable event. Placed on the stove, this unique popcorn had a signature foil top that would expand as the kernels popped, transforming into a golden dome filled with buttery goodness. The process was as exciting as the taste. Watching the foil slowly rise was like a mini performance, and kids would gather around, eager to see it reach its full size. The warm, buttery aroma filled the kitchen, building up the anticipation and adding a cozy feel to family movie nights. Jiffy Pop wasn't just popcorn. It was an experience that brought everyone together. Each batch came with that special hint of nostalgia, creating memories that lasted long after the popcorn was gone. For many, the joy of Jiffy Pop was as much about the ritual as it was about the taste. The 70s were full of unforgettable memories that shaped a generation. Which of these classics brought you back? Share your favorite in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more nostalgia.